I'm Comrade Shane. Welcome to Juche Lessons. Today we will be discussing the final socio-historical principle of Juche philosophy, that the revolutionary movement is propelled by the decisive role of ideological consciousness of independence of the masses. The Juche idea clarifies that consciousness of independence, reflecting aspirations and demands of the masses, plays a decisive role in the revolutionary movement, and thus newly elucidates that the revolutionary socio-historical movement, which is a conscious movement, is propelled by the consciousness of independence. As Comrade Kim Jong-il said, quote, "The consciousness of independence plays the decisive role in the masses' revolutionary movement for independence," unquote. The key to all successes in the revolution and construction depends on the role of the masses, the masters. If the popular masses play the role of masters, they can properly advance the revolution and construction by utilizing fully all conditions and possibilities, even under unfavorable material conditions and circumstances. However, if they do not do so, they cannot make success in the revolution and construction, even under favorable material conditions and circumstances. The role played by the people in the revolution and construction differs according to their ideological consciousness. Ideological consciousness of independence that reflects the independent aspirations and demand of the masses only can enable the people to turn up to the revolutionary struggle for transforming nature and society in a progressive manner. First of all, consciousness of independence determines the class character of behavior of the people who participated in the revolutionary movement to actively propel the movement. In class society, all behaviors of the people have class character, and they differ fundamentally according to the class character. The purpose, direction, result, and effect of behavior differ according to which class's interests they defend. The most fundamental difference in the people's behavior is the difference in their class character. The class character of the people's behavior is decided by their ideologies. All behaviors of the people are based on and restricted by their social and class position. Social and class position of the people give effects upon their behavior through their ideologies. This can be proven by the fact that not every member of the working class struggle for the interest of the working class, even though their origins are of the working class, which is a phenomena we should all be familiar with in capitalistic societies, where so many working people are duped into serving the reactionaries and ruling class. The people who originate from the working class should arm themselves with consciousness of independence. Only then can they defend their class stand and struggle staunchly for the interest of the working class. Even though they are from the working class, they cannot struggle for the interest of the working class if they lack class consciousness nor are armed with consciousness of independence. And even if one's origins are from the exploiting class, they can become traitors of the exploiting class to actively struggle for the interests of the working class, if they receive and accept revolutionary ideological education and are able to cognize the reactionary essence of the exploiting class, and thus consciousness of independence. Let's go back to a time when Watt made a steam engine. A steam engine was the machine which played a great role in marking the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. At that time, the capitalists bled the workers more harshly, while making good use of this machine to develop industry. Therefore, the workers had to engage in back-breaking labor for 15 hours a day. Products were much more produced than ever before, but the workers received the lowest wages under the minimum cost of living. So the workers thought that their troubles and indignant life were ascribed to the machines, saying that, quote, "new machines are killing us," unquote. As a result, a sabotage to break the machines took place. This was the so-called machine-breaking campaign waged by the working class. Meanwhile, the capitalists who monopolized the machines made the government proclaim a strict law. Persons who break down machines shall be sentenced to death, and suppress the workers mercilessly. The workers eventually came to realize that their life could not be improved by the breaking down of the machines. The workers then understood that they had to fight not against the machines, but against the capitalists, and demand for the reduction of working hours and wage increase. Thus, the workers sometimes succeeded in reducing the working hours a little and raising their wages. But they could not fundamentally improve their status even by this. It is because the capitalists occupied state power and the means of production and still oppressed the exploited workers. If the workers were to fundamentally improve their status, they had to fight against not an individual capitalist, but all the capitalists, and overthrow the capitalist system on which the capitalists rely. As days went by, they were armed with consciousness of independence, and accordingly they conducted an organizational struggle to overthrow the capitalist society and to build a socialist society. This history tells us clearly that the consciousness of independence enables the people to have the correct class stand and turn up to the revolutionary movement so that they can propel the revolutionary movement. The consciousness of independence propels the revolutionary movement by determining the will and fighting spirit of the people displayed in the revolutionary movement. How fully they display their will and fighting spirit depends on their ideologies. The masses' revolutionary capability is inexhaustible, but it cannot be fully displayed if they are not awakened ideologically. The masses who are not awakened ideologically cannot wage struggle even under the exploitation and oppression. They hesitate before troubles and trials in the revolutionary struggle. Only with the consciousness of independence can the masses have the stubborn stand and attitude and participate in the revolution with strong will and brave all kinds of difficulties and trials in the revolutionary struggle. We have many episodes about the anti-Japanese revolutionary forerunners who devoted themselves to freedom and liberation of the people in the history of the long and arduous anti-Japanese armed struggle in Korea. They include the episode about the heroic soldier who blocked the enemy's muzzle in order to open the breakthrough of his unit. The episode about the fighter who cut his tongue because he was afraid of telling the secret of organization when he was arrested by the enemy. The episode about the woman fighter who was deprived of her eyes by the enemy, but shouted that, quote, "I have no eyes, but I can see the victorious future of the revolution," end quote, before her death, and so on. The anti-Japanese revolutionary forerunners devoted themselves for the victory of revolution, braving through all difficulties and trials. Because the anti-Japanese revolutionary forerunners had as their faith the consciousness of independence that is consistent with the self-consciousness of being masters of revolution and with the firm conviction in sure victory. The revolutionary movement is caused and propelled by the decisive role of consciousness of independence that determines the class character of the people's behavior and their will and fighting spirit. That's all for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, please remember to like, share, and subscribe the video. If you have any ideas for future videos you'd like to see on the channel, please leave your suggestions in the comments. Be sure to check out our other social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Finally, as an independent creator, my work on all channels and platforms is sustained through the generous donations of supporters and comrades, and allows me to focus as much time as possible on content creation. My PayPal is in the description of this video for anyone who is able and would like to contribute. Thank you, and red salute, comrades.
Misunderstandings.